Thank you for joining us on PPBC TV. Welcome to Langston Lion men's basketball at CF Gales Fieldhouse, sponsored by LU Athletics, MJ Bail Bonds, Community Health Centers of Oklahoma, Blue Sky Bank, Guiding Right, and Tinker Federal Credit Union. It's the Golden Eagles from John Brown University against the number 8 nationally ranked Langston Lions. In the words of Chris Wright, the Langston men have played an NBA schedule. Due to the winter storm that hit a couple of weeks ago, this team again is a part of that same gauntlet, 5 games in 9 days. Now the Lions are a little bit different, where the women went undefeated until today. The men were 3-1 in that stretch. 22-point win against MAC-U, 73-51. 27-point win against USAO, 96-69. That was last week. But then they had an overtime loss to Wayland, 67-73. But then they responded with a 71-66 win against the College of the Ozarks. Now the Lions are 20-5, 15-4 in conference, and a very, very tight Sooner Athletic Conference leaderboard, currently positioned at number 2. 1 game behind Nelson College, 1 game ahead Texas Wesleyan for the 3rd spot, and 2 games ahead for the 4 and 5 spot. Swick, how do we sort this out? Every game the Langston men play is a must-win game, and we get into that today.
Well, welcome to NAIA basketball
Here at the Sooner Athletic Conference.
I'm telling you, it doesn't get the respect it deserves, ladies and gentlemen. This is highly competitive. If you've ever been to an LU game, you'll know that it's a dogfight. And then you play the amount of games that they've played, dealing with nagging injuries, injured players, different things like that. It's a gauntlet, and it's something that Coach Chris Wright has prepared them for. They're well aware, and they're back at it again tonight against the John Brown team that has some size, has some height. And their thing is, like, we want to get through today so we can have at least 3 days, 4 days to prepare, rest up, catch our breaths, and be back on the court on Thursday.
Exactly. Earlier today, you had a chance to have a conversation, right?
Yeah, here's my conversation with Chris Wright. We had a good one. All right, head coach, Langston Lions, Coach Chris Wright. Coach, it has been a grind lately. You've been playing a lot of basketball. You got a big game tonight against John Brown University. Talk about this last week and a half. I mean, even going back to the bad weather season, you had to postpone a game, and all of that. You've been on the road. Talk about what these past couple weeks have been like for the Langston basketball team.
Yeah, so this will be game number 5 in 9 days for us. So we've had 3 out of our last 4 on the road. Had a big win last Thursday at MAC-U, played at home against University of Science and Arts. Got a good win there, and then lost in overtime at Wayland Baptist. Got back at about 5 in the morning, and then Wednesday we hit the road again to go to College of Ozarks. So won a very hard-fought game there, and got back in the wee hours of the morning on Friday, and it's time to play again. So no rest for the weary.
Now, is that something that how do you coach that? I mean, it's not an X's and O's thing. It's a toughness thing, and you've got to have a certain type of culture to keep everybody mentally and physically invested and focused on the task at hand. Talk about how difficult that is as a coach.
It is extremely difficult. I think, from our point of view, we try to keep things, those days that we haven't been in games, right, to a minimum. Obviously, we're trying to watch film, we're trying to prepare, but, as far as practice time, and there's not much of it, right? You walk through some things and cover the things that you absolutely need to go through on the floor. But it is a lot, and, you couple that with just the guys that we've had in and out of our lineup with injuries. It's been a lot to juggle.
You talked about the overtime loss, which is not a good thing. I mean, when you have to play extra minutes and then it doesn't go your way, that's got to be frustrating. And then have to travel all the way back home and then back to Branson. But you answered it with a victory against the Ozarks, and I was really impressed with Trey Clark. I think he had 24. My goodness, he has evolved into such an asset for this Langston Lion team. Talk about him, if you will, and who else has kind of stood out going back to that last victory you had against the Ozarks.
Yeah, he was really good late. I mean, obviously he scored the ball really well, but came up with some timely steals, offensive rebounds. Just when he is engaged and makes the extra effort plays, he's really, really good. The ball starts going in the hole a little easier. It's kind of funny how that works. But he's a tremendous talent. Obviously, with him coming in mid-year, right? It's a steep learning curve, and I think he's just now starting to really get comfortable for us. When you look at last game too, I thought, Deuce Alexander doesn't get a lot of credit sometimes. His numbers don't just necessarily pop off the page, but he was really good down the stretch for us too.
Now you're 20-5, got 3 games left, and you've got John Brown tonight. Is the postseason kind of the elephant in the room? I mean, I feel like everybody kind of knows it's coming, and that's money time. Like, that's the most important time. But you've still got a lot of work to be done, and I'm sure you take a one game at a time mentality. Do you feel like the mentality or just kind of the aura of your team, is that something that's always changing? What do you feel like the mindset is with this team at this point in the season?
So when we dropped the game Monday at Wayland, put us a game back of first place of Nelson. Fortunately for us, we had beat Nelson on the road already. And so we knew at that point, if we won these last 4 games, right, we win the conference. And so we knew that Ozarks would be tough on the road. They have a Hall of Fame coach. It's pretty hard to beat a guy with his name on the court on the road. It was definitely 8-on-5 for a lot of the nights. So, again, found a way to win that. And now, we're 59-2 in this building and have to win 3 home games to win the conference. And so, 3 really tough games. Obviously, I'm very, very, very concerned about today. Talking about the rest factor and, are we going to come out with the energy that we need to come out with to beat a really well-coached John Brown team? And so that's my concern today.
So you mentioned 3 in a row is kind of the goal. You still control your own destiny in terms of winning the conference outright.
We do. Again, those early season wins, traveling to Nelson, winning, traveling to Texas Wesleyan, winning. Those will be our opponents next Thursday and Saturday. So literally, we're in second by ourselves. So first place Nelson, third place Texas Wesleyan, and so it'll be one of us 3 teams that win the league.
Well, and I'm looking at this John Brown roster, Coach. They've got some size, they've got some athleticism. They got a senior who's 7'4". How do you coach your players? Because I don't think you got any 7'4" guys on your team. And I've seen you play as 7-footers before. How do you kind of coach your smaller stature players to defend against big, tall centers, true centers like that?
Connor Kern, he does a good job in the middle for him, obviously with his length. For us, we want to try to attack him on the other end, put him in as many ball screens as we can. Just try to take advantage of him being on the floor on the other end, draw him away from the basket and kind of open it up a little bit. He did not play last game, so I think there's a chance he does not play, which honestly is kind of makes them even more scary. They can really roll out 5 shooters and really, really space the floor in a way that most teams in our league can't. And so, they average, a little over 30 3-point attempts a game. And so we're going to have to guard the 3-point line, especially if the big fella's not in there. It's going to create some matchup problems that we'll have to figure out how to deal with.
I want to ask you about the health of your team. You don't have to go into specifics, but, I think 2 of the goals that every coach has is, as you approach the end of the regular season, is 1, to be playing your best basketball, but also to have as many players on hand healthy as much as you can. Do you feel like you're close to that at this point in the season?
I sure wish we were. No, not at all. We had 3 of probably our top 6 players last game. We had to wait until warm-ups to see if they were going to go.
Okay.
And it'll be much of the same today. We did get Jaden Williams back, our talented freshman. He's on a very limited minute restriction as we ease him back into it. But no, we're as beat up and as injured as as a team could be. So I'm going to have to get on my assistant coaches because one of those guys must not be living right for us to be as beat up as we are, and have been all season.
How do you want this team to start today? Obviously, with limitations in several areas. What's an ideal start? What's kind of the focus early on once the game gets underway?
We have got to pressure the basketball. They were very comfortable against us at their place, even though we led the game for, probably 35 minutes of the game, and then just kind of didn't finish it at their place. But we have got to be active. We have got to make them feel our pressure. They're really well coached. They're going to execute at a high level, and if you let them be comfortable, it could be a long night on the defensive end.
Langston Lion head coach Chris Wright. Thanks, Coach. Good luck tonight.
Appreciate you, Jay Swick.
Thank you, Swick. What a tremendous, and what I really enjoyed about Chris Wright there is you got him, and I said, I was still ready. I'm here with my monitor because Chris Wright was very, very eloquent, very calm.
Yeah.
That energy, you don't get that on the sideline in that post game.
Yeah. No, there's the on-court coaching, Chris Wright, and then there's the off-the-court media pleasant version of Chris Wright.
He was talking a lot about this John Brown as you were talking about the end of those questions there. John Brown, 10 and 14, 7 and 11 in conference. They got back in the win column, again beating Central Christian by 22, 85 to 63. They found themselves in the seventh position in the standings with a 2-game cushion against the teams that are battling for the final spot. With the win today against LU would take them a step closer to basically cementing that postseason berth. But with 2 league dynamic scores, expect them to rise and play with confidence as they have posted 2 consecutive wins, and they have a win over this Langston team.
Right, and what I found interesting about my conversation with Chris Wright is I brought up number 42, Connor Kern, who's 7'4", and he said, honestly, we don't know if he's going to play or not. He's in street clothes. He's not going to play. And Chris Wright said that's almost more dangerous for this John Brown team because they have a lot of different shooters that they can rely on, and they're going to put more speed on the floor. We'll see how Langston can handle it. You've got Jaden Williams, who's on a minute restriction. You've got a couple other players with a lot of different nagging injuries, and so he's going to kind of keep an eye on it and see who can go and who can stay on the floor at a long time. But this is the part of the season where it's really tough to finish.
And I found it interesting. He says if we win 3 straight home games,
they control their own destiny. They want to keep that power.
Exactly. And you don't want to give a game away to a team that has had some difficulty struggling. Again, this John Brown team, 2-9 on the road. Right. Let's turn it over to public address announcer, Mr. Joshua Busby.
Anthem followed by the Black National Anthem. Would you please stand at this time?
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new march on till victory is won. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, beautiful rendition, of course, of the Black National Anthem, of course, then our nation's national anthem. So, as we get set,
My
time for the
apologies, that's
starting.
a Shira Thibodeau, not a Shira, a Shira to meet the starting lineup for the visiting Golden Eagles from John Brown University. 6'1" guard, number 1, Lebra George. 6'11" forward, number 3, Clay Nagodi. 5'11" guard, number 14, Trey Adden. 6'4" guard, number 22, Josh Stewart. And the 6'7" forward, number 33, Marco Melikanushit. Head coach of the Golden Eagles is Jason Machado. Nate Quilling is the assistant coach. And now let's meet the starting lineup for your Langston University Lions. 6'2" guard from Chicago, Illinois, number 0, Orlando Thomas. 6'2" guard from New Orleans, Louisiana, number 3, Antonio Lewis. 6'6" guard from Toronto, Canada, number 11, Trey Clark. 6'1" guard from Little Rock, Arkansas, number 13, Robert Alexander. And the 6'7" forward from St. Louis, Missouri, number 303, Omar Henry. Head coach of the Lions is Chris Wright. Associate head coach Kevin Curry. Assistant coach John Warren.
All right, we want to thank Mr. Joshua Busby for those great announcements. Maurice Prince and Jay Swick here to bring you the call. This is a team, John Brown, when we start looking at the team overall, Swick, we're talking about a team that has not been able to string together more than 5 wins since the late of November into early December. Since then, they've had some difficulty, but the one thing they do have in their hat is one of their wins is against this Langston team.
That's right, and that's, a confidence booster.
It is. And so a team that has struggled, they are 2-9 on the road. So you've got to make them feel uncomfortable immediately. When we just finished watching the women's game, It's not that the women didn't come to play. We found out that their legs weren't there for the jump shots as often early on and dug themselves a hole that they found almost difficult to get out of.
Right.
If you're the boys team, or the men's team, you do not want to find yourself in that situation. I think the important part of today's game, one of my keys would have to be get off to a good start and go to the cup. Do not rely on shots from distance early.
Right, and I think that's just that's something that their strength is. I'm really glad to see Antonio Lewis out there on the floor. He's somebody that I've really been impressed with this year, and he's been banged up. They didn't know if he was going to be able to go tonight, but he said, hey, coach, put me in. Let me make some plays for my team. So
now,
we'll see what happens.
When we start talking about Trey Etling, you got to talk about the number 7 scorer in the Sooner Athletic Conference. This is a guy who can find space to operate. It's going to be key tonight for the Lions not to allow him to find easy spots. But as they're going to get Deuce on that play there, Deuce Alexander with the foul. But that was just I thought that was just the player, Etling, just losing his balance there.
I thought that was a foul by association. I don't know how else to say it. Looked like the ball carrier fell, but Alexander got the penalized for it.
All right, Etling drawing Alexander, which is going to be a great matchup all day today. Shot, a push shot, and a great shot that time fall down from George. George knocks down the first 2 of the game for John Brown.
Yeah, they draw first blood. Now LU will have their opportunity to run their offense.
The key player today, but beside everybody watching it, is really number 33. I understand how talented Lovelace is, but Malakanuzik is really one of those guys which you've got to watch. He's the team's leader in three-point shooting. He's number 2 on the team in rebounding, and it's one of those type of guys that you just look and he's got some points and he's making the plays that make it difficult for your team.
Yeah, and I think Omar Henry, who has the ball right now, is going to have a busy day off both ends. He gets the first bucket to tie it. So he's going to be relied upon heavily defensively tonight too.
18:55 to go before the end of the first half. Barely 3 minutes into the game. Lions remain in man-to-man coverage or man-to-man defense. No one rotated on the backside, and going up to the basket strong there was Nagode, and he did a great job. And he did a great job of just finding that easy path to the basket. And we'll go to the free throw line shooting too.
Right, and there's some size advantage here for John Brown, and I'm glad Connor Curran, the 7'4" player, ain't playing. But Nagode's 6'11". You've got Lovelace, who's 6'9". I mean, they've got some tall players that can really play above the rim. Now, they missed the free throw there, but I'm interested in a little bit clash of style, speed versus strength, kind of, and who's going to win. I think Langston could really utilize their speed to their advantage today, but they're going to have to get some stops and get them going in transition.
Both teams with 1 foul apiece, and Nagode knocks down his second opportunity at the free throw line. John Brown leads by 1. Alexander setting the table over to Lewis, back over to Thomas. Thomas sets, fires from the top, back rim, shot no good. Lions clash. Lewis ends up getting the rebound. He's trapped underneath. He's got to get it out for a 3-second call, and he does. Cross court over to Trey Clark. Clark breaking down the defense, loses it. Steal on the play that time by Stewart. Stewart's going to try to take it baseline, decides to back it out and reset. Ball back in the hands of George. George being guarded by Clark. George in the lane. Gets it over to Edling. Edling in the lane. Alexander covering. Up fake. Good job by the Lion defense. 13 seconds. Ball absorbed by Omar Henry that time.
Great job of keeping everything in front of you, and if a defender, ball carrier goes by, put a hand on the ball.
Kick out to Alexander over to Clark. Clark, again, trying to break down the zone defense. And a three-point shot by Lewis is straight cash. Shot that right in front of the John Brown bench, and Langston leads by 2.
When he shoots in rhythm right there, gets his feet set, it's more times than not he's making that shot. Even though it was far out, he still made it.
Now, Lewis on this season is averaging, you could easily say, in terms of points, about 15 to 16 points per game. But because he missed so many games earlier this season, he doesn't qualify to be in the rankings. but I'm telling you, the opponents need to know
Yeah.
that he can score that type of points. Right now, as it stands, Orlando Thomas is the highest on the list for Langston right now. He's 12th in the Sooner Athletic Conference in overall scoring, averaging just about 15 points a game. Omar Henry with the spin move and the turn away. What a nice pirouette in the lane.
Mo, that was pretty.
Nice.
That was dancing with the Lions there. I love that. Golly, great footwork.
Okay, if Kevin Costner sues you, I'm not talking about that. 7-3 right now, 16:40 to go. Ball on the left wing. Edling finds a crease, has to give it back up inside to Malinusik, and he's going to be fouled by Alexander that time. But Malinusik had position.
And he had size advantage. Alexander's not backing down from nobody. He almost tipped it, but then turned around and swatted it, got called for the foul. But he's there. He's going to compete.
What John Brown is doing, and Swig, I'm going to let you speak on this, but when Omar Henry, because the Lions switch everything, the bigs are rolling interior, and if you don't have your feet in the right place, this is how John Brown's – this is what they want to do to win.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why Omar Henry and some of those bigger players are going to play a significant role tonight. Not necessarily have to be scoring, although we did see a beautiful score by Henry, but it's more on the defensive side, limiting those opportunities. And I do think that John Brown was a little bit hurried on a couple possessions here early to start this game.
All right, so we'll see how Jay Wilson matches as he comes in for Omar Henry. Also, Jaden Williams is in the game, and TJ Cave is now here to set the table along with Orlando Thomas in the game. On the box to Jay Wilson. Jay Wilson needs to be paid attention to. On this last road trip, he did have a 30-piece on one of the outings that they had on the road this past week. Edling start working the ball around. Up fake, drive inside by Stewart. Has to give it back out to Edling and reset. Lions up by 2, 7-5, 16:04 to go. That time, nobody cut off Edling. The big outside on Edling, and he breaks it down and ties the game.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised he went with the right hand. I expected that to get swatted, but they don't want to get in foul trouble early. I get it. Tie ball game.
Yes, 3 team fouls already for the Lions, and we're barely 6 minutes into this game. Jay Wilson thought about the 3. He's going to work against Malinusik, and he kisses it, trying to draw some contact. Jaden Williams battling, wasn't able to corral it. Instead, in this case, John Stewart has it. Edling now has it, coming across the timeline, now set up right there on the logo. Trying to get a screen, trying to get around TJ Cave. Edling swings it over. Malinusik from the left wing for a basket opportunity.
Oh.
Ball knocked loose, but Orlando Thomas is able to maintain possession.
Yeah, getting a stop. Now you got to capitalize, right? That's how you build a lead. Got to be diligent here.
Jaden Williams now has it over to Orlando Thomas on the right. And they're going to call a foul up top.
Yeah, is that going to be on Carbonell?
Yeah, it's going to be called on Carbonell. So that is the second team foul. Substitutions. So Malinusik comes out. And
Jay Wilson's coming out for Langston. I think McCoy's coming in.
Yeah, Cameron McCoy's in. Okay. So now Lewis, Thomas, Williams, Cave, and McCoy on the floor. Game all tied up at 7 right now. TJ Cave guards to the basket, wasn't able to get it. Nice rebound by McCoy. Up fake, drives to the basket, contact, go to the free throw line, gets the third team foul against John Brown. That was a difficult situation because TJ Cave went the same direction that time. He was lucky he was a step quicker.
Yeah. Well, a great rebound at a kind of a weird angle for McCoy. He's over off the side. The ball kind of bounced. He kind of had to side jump, if that makes sense. It was able to get the ball, come back, go back up, draw the foul, and we'll have 2 free throw opportunities. So I like what I'm seeing right now. It's just about consistency at this point.
No doubt about it.
And execution. You know, it's a long basketball game.
It is. Today's game, one of the sponsors is Community Health Centers of Oklahoma, offering comprehensive health services, mental health support, and community programs of the highest quality. Look no further than Community Health Centers of Oklahoma. Also, Guiding Right, a leading public health organization in Oklahoma, aiming to improve access to healthcare systems and services to the marginalized populations in Oklahoma. I'm Maurice Prince. This guy here is Jay Swig. 7-7 game. Both teams are still trying to work out how they're going to attack, but we see what John Brown's going to do. I'm interested to see the adjustment that Chris Wright elects to make, whether it's with personnel matching and see if he can get some advantages with some quick steps. So now we're having a chance to see more of the second unit for John Brown on the floor right now.
Yeah, I think it is, especially early on, it is going to be a little bit of a chess game. That's why I asked Coach Wright, okay, what is your vision on starting out this game early in the game when you've got, everybody that's at full strength is playing and a lot of energy, but as the game goes on, you're going to have an ability to wear down your opponent. Who's going to be the first one to wear down?
Well, great job by McCoy at the free throw line, knocking down his first free throw opportunity, trying to give the Lions a 2-point lead. And he does just that. Cameron McCoy goes 2 for 2 at the line. Lions lead by that same amount. Long, deep cross-court pass now. Up fake as Carbonell's working the ball around. Now the ball's back in the hands of Edling. Lions switch. Thomas now covering. Ball in the hands now of Sosa. Sosa.
Good job. Good
job by
ball defense.
TJ Cave with a great job on that play. Antonio Lewis still guarding. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Turn and fire. Nice rebound by Jaden Williams.
Yeah, Jaden Williams. You just don't know how long Jay Will's going to be on the floor. He does have a minutes restriction. He's coming off injury, but he's working tonight. Here's Cave now.
TJ Cave gets it inside with a nice pass to McCoy with a spin move and reverse. Wasn't able to get it.
Get it back.
He outworks Edling on that, and it's going to be a foul called. What a job by McCoy.
How did he get the ball? How did he get the ball back?
Yeah, he said it was mine.
That was almost like, yep. I don't know. I can't explain it, but here he is to get the ball back himself, and now he's back at the free throw line. He knows where the rim's at. Wasn't long ago that he was shooting free throws, so
now,
hopefully he'll make these.
That last contact he had with Edling had him gripping his hand a little bit, and you see it's already taped up. Let's see if he's able to concentrate, and he still does knock down the first the first of 2 3-point free throw attempts, but you see him still adjusting that hand, so he's got to concentrate. Matthew Cooper is now in the game, along with as well TJ Cave, Orlando Thomas. Looks like we've also got Trey Clark back on the floor as well. Nice job by McCoy.
Yeah, great job.
4 points, getting his money at the free throw line and giving Langston the same lead.
Look at Cave just getting after it. High intensity. Oh, they tried to trap him in half court.
Trying to get the ball worked around. The Lions still staying in man-to-man defense. That's what Chris Wright loves. Working the ball around. Malik Anuzik is back in the game as well. Off the top of the screen there goes Jordan Martin. Loses it in the lane, and it's going to be a jump ball situation.
Well, credit Matthew Cooper for being disruptive in that. Saw the ball carrier coming past and was able to get a hand on it, and now he gets a high five from Coach Wright.
Yeah, whenever you get a high five from your coach, just understand you're going to get cursed out the next time you don't put that same effort forward.
Absolutely.
but in this case, that was all Cooper, as you called it.
Yeah, and, Chris Wright doesn't give many high fives during the game. So when you get one, there we go. Now let's build on that.
All right. Yeah, all that says is, you get an extra minute on the floor. That's all right, TJ Cave setting the offense right now for the Lions. Lions up by 4, 13-22 to go in the first half. Back up top, Omar Henry really thought about the three. Going to work, pull up for the free throw jump shot. Wasn't able to get that one to fall. Rebound pulled down that time by Stewart. Going to fire it to the corner. Trying to work the ball around. Stewart tries to get it down to Nagode.
Oh, just over.
Ball goes into the backcourt here. It could be an over a back situation, and they're going to call an over the back.
Yep.
And it will be Lions ball.
Yeah, just a bad throw by Nagode. Just fired it out of there like it was like he was Andrew Luck or something.
12:55 to go. On the floor, Antonio Lewis now rejoins the party. So Cooper, Lewis, Henry, Cave, and Clark on the floor right now. Working to get the ball worked in. Cooper looking, fires it back out to Lewis. Lewis has yet to score. I take that back. No, Lewis has 3 in the game. He has the
Yeah,
one of
he
the
had
rare
that one
three-point.
three-point shot right there on the wing.
Henry thought about it, gets it back over to Cave. Cave at the elbow, swings it back over to Cooper. Cooper with 5 seconds on the shot clock. Somebody's going to have to fire it up. 3 seconds. Turn, and Clark fires it when time expires. But the
thought
ball
he
hit
got
the back.
it off. Well, I guess it didn't.
It hit the back. It didn't hit the rim.
Okay. Yeah, I keep forgetting that. You know, we're going to start seeing the shot clock implemented on high school basketball in the state of Oklahoma starting next season.
So now going to work right now. Ball on the left to Malakanuzik. Orlando Thomas, who's now back in the game, doing a great job smothering against Stewart. Trying to find space to operate. Edling steps out. Trey Clark still covering him. 7 seconds. Stewart fires a 3 shot, no good. Ball rolls around, and it ends up in the hands of Lewis.
I don't think you can play basketball for Chris Wright without the ability to have that smothering on-ball pressure. It seems like every player on Langston has at least that.
You have to have that level of intensity or bring it or you're not on the floor. Trey Clark diving down, trying to get the ball into Henry's hands. Henry up, under, turn, shot, no good. Edling with the rebound. Here's John Brown. At this point, they've been scoreless now for the last 4 minutes and 36 seconds.
Okay, that's going to be.
Is that a foul against Cave?
No, so, I thought he said 13.
Well, Alexander's just coming back in the game. So I'm going to assume that last foul was on Cave. We'll verify that in just a minute, but it is the 4th team foul. So Alexander is in the game. The foul was actually called on Omar Henry.
Okay.
So now going to work. Ball in the hands of Edling. Edling being guarded by Thomas. Thomas has yet to score in this game, and they're going to throw the ball away. It will be Langston ball. So now you're talking about right now 4 minutes and 45 seconds that John Brown has not scored.
Yeah, we haven't seen a Langston score in a while. It feels like we've been up and down the floor for a few possessions here. Buckets are hard to come by today right now.
Thomas, Alexander, and Lewis doing the weave right there inside half court. Lewis over to Thomas. Deuce. Back to Lewis. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Deep three-point shot. Omar Henry tries to sky to get the rebound, and the ball goes off the hands of George, and it still will remain Langston ball.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I really like that shot selection.
We know Lewis has got the range.
Yeah.
So inside, Henry tries to get it, dive on the floor, and the ball is going to be a jump ball situation. And it looks like it'll be John Brown ball here.
That's all right. Sometimes you need to go through that to get the possession arrow back on your side for when it happens again.
Omar Henry loses his headband or needs to adjust his headband after that last shot there.
Yeah, Jay Will's coming back in for Lewis. Got to make sure that spot was wiped up. We can't have any sliding basketball players at risk of injury through the roof when that happens.
Jaden Williams, Trey Clark, Omar Henry, Orlando Thomas, and Deuce Alexander on the floor.
Yeah, it seems like Jaden Williams has gotten even taller. I remember him being a sophomore in high school, and I was taller than him. Now he's like double my height.
Well, that growth spurt is a real thing.
It's a real deal.
Edling being guarded by Alexander. They give it up back to George. George tries to do work and altered by Omar Henry. He should get credit with the block on that one. Going to press the ball ahead goes Deuce. Deuce swings it to the corner. Thomas fires a 3, and he gets it to fall. His first basket of the game.
Was that off the glass at that angle?
It looked like it touched something, Swick, from that side. I couldn't quite make it, but we do know this. It went through the net.
Well, somebody call Blue Sky Bank because I think it's open on Saturday.
Obviously, it very well could be. I'll open an account. All right, going to work right now. Across the timeline goes Alexander. Back in the hands of Trey Clark, who gives it back to Orlando Thomas. Thomas off the, they're going to catch Henry.
Omar.
Henry going to catch him with that slight shove. He said, I didn't really do it I didn't put that muscle into it, but it was enough.
Yeah, and John Brown's going to take advantage of it. So here, down 7.
So Cameron McCoy comes back in along with Trey Clark. Jaden Williams now TJ Cave in the game. 10 minutes, 3 seconds to go. They're going to swing it. Down inside, turn inside and fire. The midi is no good. McCoy with the rebound now. You're talking 6 minutes now that John Brown has not scored. Langston leads by 7. 9:50 to go. Ball in the hands now of Jaden Williams, who weaves it back to TJ Cave, and the Lions are set with 18 seconds on the shot clock. Orlando Thomas with the fake there. TJ Cave with the bounce pass inside to Clark. Clark trying to go on 2. Clark is bumped, swings it to Jaden Williams. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Jaden Williams has to fire it, and he gets it a kiss off the glass. Are they going to call it 24 seconds? But I thought if the shot's out of your hands.
It was close to me.
Okay.
No, it was close. I think it could have gone either way. I'm not really mad at it. I don't know if Jaden Williams quite knew where the shot clock was at when he started his shot attempt. I think it was too late. But
all right.
We'll see.
Today's game is, of course, being brought to you by Blue Sky Bank, MJ Bail Bonds, Community Health Centers of Oklahoma, and Guiding Right and Tinker Federal Credit Union. As it is in the game right now, Langston has shot 4 of 13, 30% in the first half of this game to this point. And then you're looking at it from John Brown's perspective, 2 of 9, 22%. So the Langston defense has been effective because the team has only got 9 shots on goal.
Yeah, no, and they've been playing well, and this is what they've wanted to see from this team. And I think, losing to John Brown earlier in the year, there's also that subconscious thing like, dang it, I want to get my get back. I want the revenge. But there's also that knowledge that you've learned from playing this team. And so they've made some adjustments. They've realized, hey, we're going to have to get up and down the floor and, take some three-point shots and do what we can to limit their opportunities. I just think right now they're playing really, really good defense, and they're making the plays that matter on offense to give them a 7-point lead. You just got to keep replicating this, and it'll be interesting to see if John Brown can make any kind of adjustments to stop the bleeding right now.
Back to live action now as Edling has it, gets the ball back in the hands of Sosa.
Cross
the
trap
timeline.
him.
And Edling is not able to get it. That ball pressure was very effective as Marcus Haynes, the Hall of Famer, hands the ball to the official.
This is really good defense right here. This is just by the book. Clinic. You can teach it. You can watch it. Others can learn. I love it. I love the effort here, the efficiency.
TJ Cave across the timeline here. 9:08 to go before the end of the first half. Ball in the hands now of Lewis. Down to McCoy. McCoy has been doing work on the interior. Turns, gets in the lane, shot no good that time. And a nice work on the rebound. Somehow battling for it. Jaden Williams got the foul simply because he was in the right position. It's going to be against Malikanuzik.
Yeah, he was going to come down with that rebound, and they definitely checked him. He's going to come out. It's going to be on the floor.
Team foul number 5. Remember, in the men's game, of course, we got to get to 7 before we get to the bonus this time.
Right.
Trey Clark now has it inside. Trey Clark
shot
off the glass and scored the basket for Clark, who came through the lane, diving down with a little bit of sauce and got the shot to fall.
Golly, like Coach Wright said in pregame, I mean, this guy comes in late, and he's adapted so well. His teammates have welcomed him with open arms. He had 24 the last game, and his confidence level is just game by game has risen so much, and you keep making plays like that, you got to feel good about it.
Trey Clark winds up his first trying to complete the value meal there. Wasn't able to get that.
No, he stood with the dollar menu.
But the lead is 16-7 as it stands right now. 8:42 to go. Edling diving down and getting a nice shot to fall. Edling in the game now officially has 4 points. 8:35. Okay. Lewis is going to reset here.
Yeah, he had 17 the last time John Brown beat Langston. So you'd love to keep him under that mark. He's going to get some shots. Good player. And there's a
offensive foul called against McCoy.
Oh, goodness. All right.
Team foul number 6 called against Langston. Both teams have 6 fouls apiece.
Cooper's back in the game.
So Cooper, Clark, McCoy, and Lewis with Thomas on the floor for the Lions right now. Lions are double teaming Edling when he looks like he's about to go downhill. A foul is called as we're about to be in the 1-and-1 situation, the bonus. So the foul's going to be called against Trey Clark that time. So over the limit, here we go to the free throw line. Let's see here. Who is it going there?
Yeah, I think he's going to put Jay Wilson in for Clark. That's what I think is going to happen. Now he's going to put Jay Wilson in for McCoy, and then TJ Cave's coming back in for Cooper.
So Dowda at the free throw line right now. Dowda this is his first opportunity to get there right now. So far, John Brown has been 3 of 4 as a team from the free throw line. Let's see if Dowda,
lefty,
and he gets that first one to fall.
Now they're cutting the deficit a little bit here.
Down to a 6-point margin, but 16-10 is the score. Langston on top. Dowda goes 2 for 2 at the free throw line, now down to a 5-point margin. So TJ Cave, Trey Clark, Thomas, Jay Wilson, who's back to return to the game, along with Antonio Lewis. Jay Wilson, got to see if they can get him going with a couple of touches here.
You said he had 30 one night recently?
Yes, and this last week is TJ Cave with a dive down to the basket. And one thing he could do was finger roll. 18-11, lead
Last
up by
game
7.
I was at, TJ Cave stayed after and was shooting until the lights went out in the gym. And they told him, dude, you got to go home.
Dowda.
Heck of a work ethic.
Being covered by Jay Wilson. Edling going baseline, swings it back out on top. Stewart for 3, and he finds the distance and finds the mark there. Stewart with his first points of the game. He's got 3 now, and the lead is down to 4, 7:26 to go.
2 possession difference here. Cave's going to bring it up, and I love that Orlando Thomas is in the game. We haven't seen much from him today.
Yeah, Thomas is sitting on 3. He did get a 3-point basket, but it's just overall been quiet.
Here he is working.
Until you said that, and then Thomas goes ahead and gets 2. Might as well call it out, Swick.
Yeah, I think, I think so. The lefty's going to go, and he tried to push him pushed him left, thinking he was going to be uncomfortable. It wasn't that at all.
20-14. Edling gets in the lane, shot over the top, draws a contact and a foul against Jay Wilson. So he'll go to the free throw line here, as that's team foul number 8 against the Lions. But he's going to shoot it. It's a shooting foul, so he's going to shoot 2 free throws regardless. But so far in the game, the Lions have been pretty good. Points in the paint, the Lions have 10. John Brown only has 6 points in the paint thus far.
Yeah, they're taking high percentage shots.
And Edling missed that free throw there. Just under a 80% free throw shooter. He's shooting at about 77-78% on the season. Edling spins it, shot up, and he gets that second one to fall. Back to a 5-point margin.
They're going to take him out, give him a breather here. I like LaPre George, number 1 for John Brown. I think he's really fast. Great option to have opposite of Edding. So got fresh legs too.
Jay Wilson
need help.
Gets it on the hands of Thomas now. 17 seconds on the shot clock, so plenty of time. Thomas wants to go downhill, and he does. Throws it high off the glass. Ball contested by Jay Wilson, not able to bring down the rebound. George does. Nice deflection by Antonio Lewis. Made you forget that he got some hops. Jaden Williams now smothering the defense, covering outside against Lovelace. George trying to find space to operate against Thomas. Good job defense by Jaden Williams. And inside the lane, they're going to catch Jaden Williams with a foul. And it's simply because Lovelace was trying to work the ball down under the elbow of the free throw line. And
caught him with the hand in the cookie jar. He was looking right, and Jaden Williams was like, ugh. And then the ref is,
blew the whistle there. Team foul number 9, so that's an important detail to note.
Yeah.
On the next one, it's 2 shooting fouls.
Right. So right now it's a 1-and-1. I was going to say, that's why rebound, let's go. It's a 1-and-1. When you get to that 10 foul mark, then it's 2 free throws.
That's right, exactly. So that was the situation, and the Langston players seemed to be a little confused on whether it was a shooting foul. Antonio Lewis unloads a three from the corner. Shot no good. George with the rebound. Ball over to Stewart, who just had a three-point basket not too long ago. George breaking down the defense and gliding through several Lion defenders. I don't know who they're going to call with the foul with that one. So it's going to be against Orlando Thomas with his first personal foul of the day. And it's interesting, Clark with 2, Deuce Alexander with 2, Trey Clark with 2.
Well, I expect John Brown University to continue to attack the rim and rack up these foul counts, especially now that Langston's in the bonus. And if they keep shooting their free throws effectively, it'll benefit them. But, golly, 5:43 left in the first half. A long time to be in the bonus.
It really is. And George knocks down the free throw. George on the afternoon has 4 points. Here comes TJ Cave. Deuce is back on the floor as well, along with Orlando Thomas and Jay Wilson. So Deuce looking.
Needed somebody to cut on the backside.
A lot of discussion on where you're supposed to be on the floor between Jay Wilson.
TJ just working.
And TJ spin move on the interior, going up and under through the defense, and somehow, some way, by that extra effort, Clausen gets another rebound out of it. Up top, Orlando Thomas with the sauce with the left-handed finish, 22-17 is the
I
score.
love that possession. That is high effort, the will to score. They weren't going to be denied in that case. It was hard, but they made it happen. Loved it. Now it's back on defense. Got to keep working.
Working the ball up top against Nagode. And again, Thomas covering on Malakanuzik. George trying to get the ball around Deuce. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Ball goes out of bounds, and it's officially going to be Lion basketball.
Yeah, he stepped out. And that's, Now you can add on to this lead here a little bit more. You got a call, or you had a timeout called by Jason Basheda.
Bashida. So 22-17, we'll take a timeout here as well. We'll be right back in a minute. You're listening to Langston Lion Basketball, brought to you by Blue Sky Bank, Community Health Centers of Oklahoma, guiding right at Tinker Federal Credit Union. Welcome back to Langston Lion men's basketball. Maurice Prince, Jay Swick on the call. 22-17. The game was moving at an interesting pace, but on the last, it's becoming a little bit of a grind now on the last few possessions.
Who's winning the rebounding?
The rebounding battle is being won by the Lions 15-8 right now.
Okay, well then that's a good thing, because I look back at the box score the last time they played. They got out-rebounded by 10. Langston shot 46% to 50. Well, okay, 41. I thought, I was looking at it long. They lost the rebounding game last time to John Brown. So to be up the way they are right now is a good situation. Good situation for Langston. I know that was a focus to be able to crash the boards and limit those second chance opportunities, but also give yourself some second chance opportunities.
So Dante Manuel is getting his first action of the day as McCoy goes inside the lane, tries to swing it back out to TJ Cave. Cave, stutter step dribble in the middle of the lane. Triple team's going to lose that battle. George ends up with it now. He's going to give it back up top to Sosa. Sosa being covered by Thomas. Sosa bumps Thomas. No foul, no call on that play. McCoy hands the ball off. And they're going to call a foul that time.
Yeah, I think they're going to get Deuce with it.
That's foul. That's his third personal foul now.
Yeah, they're going to put Lewis back in the game and have him on the bench. I mean, Robert Alexander is somebody that the coaches trust so much. John Warren, Chris Wright, you know, they love this kid, and he leaves it all on the floor. So you got to kind of pull him, protect him from himself when he gets in foul trouble, and use him for second half.
Carbonell misses his first free throw but knocks down the second one. And John Brown continuing to get to the free throw line. That is their 12th free throw they've shot in the first half. Langston's only shot 5. So the Lions have got to get a way to draw that 7th foul, get to the free throw line, and start get some of that money at the line.
Yeah, well, you can't foul when you get on defense because it's just going to be automatic free throws.
All right, the Lions had the John Brown defense kind of in a fog in just a second here. Dante Manuel turns and fires an unbelievable shot against Malakanuzik.
Golly, he was contacted. He's just shoulder checking everybody. Able to get a bucket to go up 6.
Manuel covering George at the top now. Diving down goes George to the basket. He's going to get a contact.
Oh, that's the right call. That's the right
situation.
call. TJ Cave had the ball had his hand on the ball the whole time. I thought they were initially going to whistle a foul, but that is the right call, jump ball. Good job.
So it will be Langston basketball. Langston now has pushed the lead back up to 6.
Jay Will back in the game.
So Jaden Williams is back. So Manuel came in, has given the team a little bit of a spark, get 2 points off the bench, along with McCoy, Lewis, and Cave right now. The ball back in the hands of Lewis to McCoy. McCoy swings it over to Jaden Williams. Jaden Williams over to Cave. Now to Lewis. Lewis looks like he wants to go to work. Drives to the basket, drives in, and almost scores with a nice move. Hits the Jets with the blow-by. Lewis gets to the goal. He's got such a quick first step. You've got to stay in front of him.
He's very good off the dribble, and 9 times out of 10, he beats you off a dribble. And you don't know when he's going to kind of explode like that. So when it happens, it's like almost too late when you recognize it. And I love Antonio Lewis's game. I'm impressed that he's been such a key part of this team this year.
2 for 2 now goes Lewis at the free throw line. He's now got 6 in the first half. Inside to Edling. Edling almost lost his footing there. Going to turn and swing it back up top to Lovelace. Lovelace turns in. They're going to call travel against him on that play. So Langston basketball. Lions have a chance now with the 8-point margin to try to push it up to double digits now.
Yeah, he may not have realized it, but he took that extra step when he turned. Refs were counting. Great stop. That's solid defense by LU. Now they got to keep adding on here offensively. I love this lineup. A lot of speed here on the floor, though.
TJ Cave looks like he's going to go off the screen off McCoy. He screens Edling. And then diving to the basket goes Cave. Swings it back out to Thomas. Thomas with the up fake. Drives past Sosa. Goes to the basket. Going to be blocked at the rim there. I don't know if Studer or Sosa got it. 2:37 to go. Pull-up jump shot by TJ Cave. And he pulled it in 2 steps inside of the 3-point line.
Those extra shots after games, after practice is paying off. They become muscle memory.
Edling has the ball knocked out of his hand. What a job. Edling beat TJ Cave to the spot, but TJ Cave never stopped hustling and knocked the ball out of Edling before he could get the shot up.
That's a hustle play. That's effort right there. That's not talent. It's not like – that's just like, hey, I want it more than you. And there's a lot of guys on this LU basketball team that play like that.
28-18 as the lead is up to 10 right now. And it's interesting. You know, in this overall series between these two teams, Langston is 6-11 against John Brown.
We talked about it with the girls' game. I mean, this university, John Brown University, they've had some really good basketball teams over the past 10, 15 years. They have a great winning culture. They're well coached, disciplined. You look at the size of the team. I mean, my gosh, there's basketball bodies everywhere.
Now,
so they're always tough to beat. They're never a gimme opponent.
And that's why when you look at what they're able to do against certain teams, it's kind of crazy when you look at that team. When you talk about it, they've had 2 sets of times this season where they've lost almost 4 or 5 games in a row, and it's hard to believe that they've been able to, that they have done that in different stretches of the season.
Well, and they're all against the top level teams at the conference that are listed at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know. So It's not a shame thing, you know. You're just up against top-tier talent here.
Edling battling against TJ Cave, who's getting down.
Ooh,
9 seconds on the shot clock.
Oh.
And the Lions almost strip it. Now 5 seconds. Now Lovelace fires a three from deep. Rebound by Stewart. Reset the shot clock at 20. Edling dives down on TJ Cave. Shot no good that time. Battling. Ball's rolling around. Nobody has it. Jump ball situation.
Where's the call? Where's the call? Jump ball. I'm telling you, dude. I mean, you watch, again, we're watching NAIA basketball. They're playing like their lives dependent on it. Like the loser is going to die at the end of the game or something. I'm just saying, like, they are giving maximum effort. It's so refreshing, and I think that it doesn't get the credit it deserves.
Working the ball back in. Lovelace has the ball deflected. Nice job that time by Dante Manuel, who's came and make another play. Almost was able to come away with that steal, and he knows he almost had a chance to tiptoe away with that one.
Yeah,
but again, if you're going to swipe the cheese from the sandwich, you got to try to hold on to it. So Malika Nuzik getting ready to throw the ball in, 1:50 to go. Bounce pass over to Edling.
I've never tried to swipe the cheese from the sandwich, but now I may try to do that.
Try that at home. Don't try that on the road or at some fancy restaurant. You'll lose the whole sandwich.
Oh, here
ball
we go.
knocked loose. Matthew Cooper has it. Cooper to the basket, and he scores for the Lions. The steal and the breakaway, too. Lions up by 12, 30 to 18.
That's what you want to do, score in transition and towards the end of the first half to get that momentum.
Ball working around. Ball deflected up. Stewart fires another three. That's his second three-point shot on the season when we start talking about Stewart overall for John Brown University. Stewart is a 41% three-point shooter, so he can get the job done from distance, and he might be the only reason why John Brown is within 10 of what Langston has right now. McCoy, bounce pass inside to Dante Manuel. Nice block right there by Nagode, but Cameron McCoy picks up the loose change and makes $1 out of it.
Really good extra effort by McCoy to work his way to get that rebound and get the second chance points.
Lions up by 11 now. Working the ball around the perimeter goes John Brown. 19 seconds on the shot clock. Stewart says, I'll let another one fly. That is his third three-point shot in the first half. He's got 9.
Senior grew up going to John Brown University basketball games in Asylum Spring, Arkansas. Now he's not a spectator. He's a participant. He's participating at a high level.
Shot clock turned off, cuts the lead back down to 8. 7 seconds. Lewis looking for the screen against Edling. Lewis, step back, jump shot is no good. And Orlando Thomas dives in and almost got that shot to fall as time expires at the end of the first half. But as it stands right now, it is 32-24. I want to remind everybody about the right way to play. When we play the right way, everyone rises, because the right way isn't just about rules of the game. It's about respect for the game and the culture it fosters. The NAIA takes the student part of student athletes seriously, balancing growth of the whole person with athletic achievement, because that's the right way to play on the field, in the classroom, within the community. The NAIA, college athletics, the way it was meant to be played. Time for the MJ Bail Bonds halftime report. Maurice Prince and Jay Swick, we're going to take about a 6-minute break. We'll come back on the other side, break down, take a look inside the numbers, and figure out how can the Lions maintain and what John Brown might try to do to counter. That'll be in just a moment. Here you're listening to Langston Lion men's basketball right here, streaming on PPBC TV and on OKC Sports Radio 105.3. Welcome back to the MJ Bail Bonds halftime report. MJ Bail Bonds, of course, a top bail bond dealer in Oklahoma City. They understand life's unexpected challenges and are here to help you through them. Available 24/7 to provide expert assistance when you need it the most. Let Marlon James and his staff take care of you and your loved one. Taking a look at the overall statistics in the game right now, the Lions lead 32-24 when it's all said and done. So you're talking about a 8-point advantage overall for the Lions. And what are some key numbers that's doing it? So if I asked you, is John Brown shooting the ball well? The answer to the question is they're shooting it okay. 40% is not just necessarily horrible, but they're starting to get quality of shots. But what's helping them in this game has been the outstanding play and distance shooting of Josh Stewart in the game. He's got 9 in the first half, all of those shots coming from deep, and he's helping the team shoot 3 of 7, 42%, basically 43% from distance. That is giving you a tremendous advantage overall. Then if you're looking at the other key statistics of why Langston leads this game, it's one. They were out-rebounded against John Brown in their earlier matchup. In this particular game, the Lions are +8 in rebounding. Points in the paint, they are +12 in points in the paint. Second chance points, John Brown does not have any second chance baskets in this game. Lion is +12 in that category. And then from the bench, the Lions have been able to go to the bench to find some consistent scoring to help sublet what the starters have done. But the Lions are outscoring them 14-3, and they're outscoring them by 12 in points in the paint as well. The Lions have 18 of their 32 points in the paint versus the simple 6 points in the paint thus far going against John Brown University. So when you start looking at how this game is playing, John Brown wanted to get the screen and get their bigs rolling downhill and try to create mismatch advantages. But what the Lions have done is stepped out and forced them not to take the roll on the screen. So the ball is being reversed and they're swinging it back outside. And in many opportunities, they have not been able to find distance from the shot. However, if Stewart has been out there, Stewart has been very effective in getting that done overall. So it's just been an overall outstanding game in the first half by, for Stewart overall. His 9 points is really what's kept this game close, and it's the 3-point shooting for John Brown that's really done it. So we bring back in Swig. There were some key numbers that needed to go on, and I'm going to repeat them just for the point of this. Langston is +8 in rebounding, 18-10. That was a factor that they lost in the game before.
Right.
Points in the paint, 18-6, +12 in that category. Second chance points, +12 to none against John Brown. And bench points, Langston's been able to get an extra layer of scoring overall from that, 14-3. But overall, John Brown has just not been able to do what they really wanted to do in the game in the first half.
Well, and that's a credit to Langston. They've learned from that previous matchup, and I wouldn't really recommend a whole lot of adjustments here. Keep doing what you're doing. I think they need to just continue to be focusing on the offensive end, taking high percentage shots, taking open shots, and playing relentless defense. The 0 second chance points by John Brown, boy, that's a great stat to have at halftime.
No, it is, and from that standpoint. And remember, we talked about this early. John Brown really wanted to do the screen off Etling and then have the big roll to the basket and a cross matchup against a Langston small. But Langston, what they have done is by countering, by going over the screen, is forced them to swing the ball. And when they swing the ball, they've ended up giving themselves turnovers in the game. So far, John Brown had 7 first-half turnovers in the game, and that's where Langston has been able to get a couple of extra points, which is 9 points off turnovers. And if you really look at it, that's the margin in the game.
Right.
So there's a lot of statistics where the truth lies in there somehow, some way, and you got to dig a little deep to get it. So the only reason why the lead is this close as it is it's Josh Stewart. If he had knocked down those 3 3-point shots, that's really, to me, the story on why John Brown's even this close in this game.
Yeah, I mean, even for them to have 7 turnovers at the half, that's not a bad thing to me. The great thing about Langston is they only have 4. So they're playing an efficient game. You know, we saw, you know, was it Langston that got into foul trouble? They were in the bonus with some times left.
A little bit of time, but not a whole lot.
Okay.
So it didn't get to that point till less than 2 minutes to go.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
but in that particular case, the Lions have been good from the free throw line. 6 of 7, 85%. Now John Brown got to the free throw line 13 times, but shot 70%. So I mean, it's kind of like whatever John Brown's doing, Langston's just doing it a little bit better. And then the key categories that where games are often decided, they've just been more efficient.
Well, and then you've got the banged-up players that we know about. Jay Will, Antonio Lewis, even Trey Clark a little bit, but they're still competing. They're still giving maximum effort, even though they may not feel their best. I think the main thing that I definitely took away from Langston, they want this game. You see the effort level and the will to win is strong. They're leaving it all on the floor. They know we win this game. We got 2 games left to our goal, our regular season goal, and that's to win the conference. And it's in front of them. They control their destination, but they got to go out there and execute.
Yeah, and when you have it at home, that you control your own destiny, and you can't spot them a game. You're already a game down in the standings to Nelson College.
And also, let me add on to that. You know, they're right there at that spot because they want to host. You know, and the better you play, the more games you win, the bigger the chance it is to host. We've seen in years past what kind of edge that gives your team when you're playing on the home court.
Yes.
And you're the host of a national tournament, especially through the first
I mean,
round.
basically, when you have the home field, you're coming out of here
Right.
with a chance to just go to the Sweet 16 when you can get a game, 2 games won at that level.
Exactly. And, yeah, you want to win a championship, but you also want to set yourself up in
the
a
best.
good place to compete for a national championship.
No doubt about it. So it's got back time to get to live action as Trey Clark's going to throw it in. TJ Cave, Omar Henry, Orlando Thomas, and Antonio Lewis are on the floor. Thomas finished the first half with 7, Lewis with 5. Henry had 4. TJ Cave, not always known for offense, but he's been very big today with 4 points. And then Cameron McCoy with 6 for the Lions right now. Passed it onto the corner to Lewis. Lewis swings it. Ball's going to be deflected. Trey Clark thought about it. Not going to shoot it at this time. Going to swing it back to the corner. TJ Cave dives inside with 4 seconds. Omar Henry, push shot off the glass. Wasn't able to get that one to fall. But a good shot, good look, just didn't fall for them.
Yeah. Then you can't linger on it. It's back on defense. Boom.
All right, so now the original starters also on the game for John Brown University. Coach Bichetta deciding to do it. TJ Cave with a great read, looking like a cornerback. To the basket he goes and lays it on the lip of the rim and throws it down. Lead is up to 10, 34-24 now.
There's the things that you see and the things that you don't. And TJ Cave has been working a lot behind the scenes to prepare himself for games like this.
Making his minutes max, and that's what he's doing. Edling. And they're going to give it up to Stewart. This time Stewart misses a 3. That's only his second miss from distance
It
today.
didn't look good from my perspective. It just didn't fall, but it was lined. Just hit the back part of the rim. Langston was able to rebound. Now they'll have another opportunity to put some points on the board.
TJ Cave with 6 in the game, and he got his first steal on the game there. Nice work in the defense. Trey Clark for Trey from distance. Wasn't get it to fall. Edling ended up getting it. 18-22 to go. Ball back in the hands of George now. George being covered by Clark. Going to get the ball back in the hands of Malinik Nusic. Ball going to be thrown back on top to George, and they're going to say the ball goes out of bounds.
Yeah, that looked bad. He lost control. Had to make a little bit of a bad pass to his teammate. Langston gets another stop.
And a chance to get it up to push the lead back up to 12, which is the Lions' largest lead in the game today. 18:08 to go. Coming across the timeline goes TJ Cave, who hands off to Thomas. Thomas, Clark, and Lewis weave back to Clark, setting up the offense. 17:56 to go, 17 seconds on the shot clock. Lewis being guarded by Stewart, who swings it over to Omar Henry. Henry drives inside with the push shot and gets a nice one to fall.
Shooters roll.
Omar Henry now with 6 in the game.
Yep, back up 12. Now they're going to call a timeout, stop the bleeding. All the momentum was on LU there.
Coach Bichetta calling a timeout here as the lead has expanded a little bit here, and they want to take full advantage of trying to control the action. Don't let the Lions get that lead. Once it gets up there with that defense, you're going to have a hard road to climb to get back in this game.
Right, and I think, one of the strengths of this Langston team is the ability to set the tempo. And you're going to play our speed, our style. And if you want to beat us at that way, then by all means go ahead. But we're in control, and that's what seems to be the case right now is it just feels like John Brown is trying to play Langston-style basketball, and that's not their style. That's LU's.
No, and that's why when you look at how they've performed over the season, they've had these impressive stretches, these impressive moments, because you've got one of the league's best scorers, number 7 in the SAC in terms of scoring, and Trey Edling, averaging 15.9 points a game. As it stands right now, the Lions have frustrated him. He's only scored 5 points in this contest as of right now, and he's only shot the ball 3 times. And that's a testament to the Lions identifying him, and then where they're trying to get spots in the offense for him to perform. The Lions have matched it. Fighting over the top of the screen, he can't find a lot of free airspace. So it's falling on players like Stewart to try to find spots, George to find spots to score for this team. And that has been where the problem has been for the Golden Eagles today.
Yeah, and we'll get this thing started again, see what they do.
Lovelace now has been inserted in the game. He's another one of the players who can find his own shot, but they've got to find space, and they're going to catch him for steps.
Tap dancing right there. This is a basketball game, not a dance class. So careless turnover gives another opportunity to LU. Quick substitutions here.
So I'm going to
More so for John Brown.
So Lovelace comes out. So back in the hands now. Trey Clark, TJ Cave, Thomas, Lewis, Henry, and Clark on the floor for the Lions. Clark looking for space. Gets the ball in the hands of Orlando Thomas. Thomas drives to the basket. Contact, no foul there. And they're still battling. Ball's in the hands of Clark. Clark kisses it off the glass and scores. Clark gets his second basket of the game. He's got 4.
How about Orlando Thomas getting a rebound on his back?
Yeah, he did. Just kept
and
fighting.
And
the assist, yeah, on the same play. That was kind of wild. So working the ball around, and the hands. As Dowda is back in the game, but Edling finally gets a pure look, and Edling is straight cash from shooting the ball.
And that's usually what happens when he gets a good look. And he had 17 last time they played Langston. How many has he got tonight?
After that, he was stuck on 5 until that shot. Now he's got 8. Ball in the hands now of Thomas. Back in the hands of Lewis. Still working the ball around. TJ Cave gets it back over to Omar Henry, over to Thomas. Thomas decides to answer it on his own and rattles that cash straight down from downtown, as beautiful Thomas shot. Now is the first line in double digits with 10.
Beautiful shot. And the thing is, like, Orlando Thomas, he doesn't take, like, a ton of shots, but, boy, is he efficient with them.
Yes, he is. And the fact of the matter is, I remember an interview that you had with him not too long ago where people always want to shade him because they believe he's right, because he sets them up right. He can go left, but he'll set you up left and then go right.
Exactly.
He's very, very talented.
Well, and his dad, his mom and dad would tie his left hand. He's left-handed. They tie his left hand behind his back and make him learn to go right. So it doesn't really matter which side.
So going to work, pass up top. Stewart loses it. McCoy battling. Ball comes loose and still battling. And finally the Lions end up with it. Jaden Williams saves it. And now Edling dives to the basket and scores. And Jaden Williams shouldn't have reached into that one. That one was a tough situation. But Edling knew exactly what to do, take it to the cup and get a basket there.
And that was a difficult position to be in if you're Jaden Williams. You don't want to throw it far down the court, but you only have a split second to analyze where your teammates are at.
So to set it up for those who are listening on radio, the ball became a scramble drill underneath the goal.
Right.
The ball was trickling out of bounds. Jaden Williams tries to save it, throws it back in, and Trey Edling was there for the assist, if you will. And Jaden Williams ended up fouling him, not intentionally, but that's exactly what ended up happening.
Right.
41-29 is the score now. Deuce has the ball deflected by Josh Stewart there.
Now, it's good to see Deuce back in. He really, I don't think he played much of the second part of the first half because he got into 3 fouls pretty quick.
Yeah, he's only played 7 minutes in the first half of the game.
So they're going to go back to him. He's a good player and, really does a great job of setting up his teammates with this offense, and that's what he's doing right now.
He's got to have a chance to get back in rhythm. So Thomas now at the elbow battling against George. Thomas tries to break down the defense and draws contact and will go back to the free throw line, picking up the first team foul against John Brown.
Well, and again, that's what I love about Orlando Thomas. He has a great ability to create his own shot, and he's going to get to the rim most times than not, and if you're going to stop him, he's going to draw the foul.
George getting caught with the foul there. So Thomas misses the free throw. He's got 10. This is his first opportunity at the free throw line overall in this game. So Thomas trying to go 1 of 2 at the line here. 2 players in this game with double digits. Trey Edling exploded for 5 in the second. And now you've got Orlando Thomas on the other side of this trying to get some things going here. So 15-18 right now.
Williams coming out, Lewis back in.
Ball in the hands right now, working it around the outside here. Stewart being covered by Alexander. Swinging it down low, inside. Shot blocked by Trey Clark. Deuce comes out with it.
Textbook defense in the paint by Trey Clark to keep your hands up and be able to snatch that ball out of the air when it comes near you. Great job.
Antonio Lewis now hands the ball back off to Deuce. Deuce resets up. 17 seconds on the game clock right now. So now working the ball inside goes Clark. Tries to finish above the rim. Or excuse me, that was not Clark. That was Orlando Thomas trying to finish against the rim. Edling taps the ball ahead. Ooh. Looked like that could have been called for traveling. Behind the back dribble by Lovelace. Set up Stewart for 3. And Stewart side rims that one no good. McCoy with the rebound now.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like Stewart's kind of cooled off a little bit shooting the 3. I know that's his forte. But Langston has been able to pressure him there on the perimeter and limit those attempts.
Ball in the hands of McCoy. Now inside, diving down to the basket goes Thomas, and he's going to finish. Count the basket. Orlando Thomas cutting through the defense like a hot knife through butter, weaving. Kiss off the glass, finish it with the left hand.
I mean, you give him a little bit of space, he takes a mile, and so he saw some daylight in the lane. He said, "I'm going," and boy, did he.
Lions have doubled them up 10-5 in the third right now. Timeout has been called on the floor. The score has expanded now to 44-29. Maurice Prince and Jay Swick here along with Langston Lion Basketball, brought to you by Blue Sky Bank, MJ Bail Bonds, Guiding Right in Community Health Centers of Oklahoma and Tinker Federal Credit Union, but we're staying right here.
Well, and Chris Wright talked about in pregame, they played a lot of basketball in the last 5 games in 9 games. 5 games in 9 days. They don't look gas to me.
Okay, so can I
you know what I mean?
I really want to break this up, and I have no reason to really bring up this logic. So the women's team was undefeated all through the week.
Right.
So they maintained their gas until today.
Right.
And the game that they probably thought was going to be not necessarily the easiest, but a game that they thought they had a better chance of winning,
right.
They had nothing in the tank because they were down a player. The men's basketball team did lose a game this week, but they got back on the winning side, got an understanding of what it's going to take now, and then you've got other players now stepping up. You brought it up. TJ Cave shooting and staying here late shooting. His 6 points. Cameron McCoy. When you can get bench production, and you're talking about 16-3, that helps when you've got several guys 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 can give you 4 or 5 points. That's a big stretch, and then the pressure's not on an Antonio Lewis, on Orlando Thomas to try to score, and it's been great. And that, to me, it's not fair for me to compare the two, but I think the women being without a key player today was a factor in their game, just as the men having all their players available is a factor.
Right, and you're having so many different guys step up that are offsetting some of the responsibilities from those
Dante
big
Manuel,
players.
just key in point. Dante Manuel in this game, we don't normally see a lot of early minutes for him. Not saying he's not a great player, as he's going to foul Stewart. Is that Stewart? No. He fouled Malikanuzic on the play, but he's going to go shoot 3. But what I'm saying here, Manuel came in the game. That's a guy you're not saying, hey, I'm expecting you to give me, but he came up with a key steal and a key basket. Those little effort plays, just as it is when you don't have those from your other team. Because, again, if there was one more quarter in the women's game today, if there was a 5th quarter, had they got into overtime, I feel like the women might have been able to pull that out. Again, and not knocking anything away. I don't want anybody saying, well, you're just being a homer. No, in this particular case, it's a fact, because Langston typically on paper was a better team. Now, that's why they say games aren't supposed to be played on paper, and shout out John Brown for getting the second win in a back-to-back situation on the road.
Absolutely, but everything that happened that we saw that was working against the Lady Lions still only lost the game by 2. One possession.
One possession.
You know, so that's basketball for you. You know, there's reasons for everything.
Malikanuzic knocks down the first of the 3. Lead is now up to 15 overall. Lions' biggest lead in the game was 16, and Malikanuzic is doing his best job to take a little bit of a hammer to that. He's an 84% free throw shooter. He just doesn't get to the free throw line a lot over the course of the season. Edling gets there probably, you know, it's a factor and probably why John Brown has not been as effective, because you're talking about guys with the scoring that they're getting, and they're not doing it from the free throw line.
Well, and you look at under 14 minutes left in the game, and you've held John Brown to under 35 points. Here's a three-point attempt. Got it.
Nice job by Antonio Lewis on that play. And I'm glad that you brought that up. Just as I just want to look at something real quick here in this game, just in terms of statistics. When you start talking about free throw opportunities, Orlando Thomas leads the team with 102 free throw attempts, right? John Brown has only gotten to the free throw line about 70, and we're at about 3 games left in the season. That tells you, as there's some contact down there between Trey Clark and Malikanuzic. Step shot, no good by Edling that time, and Robert Alexander ends up getting it. And that was going to be a tough shot. He shot it right in front of the student section, too.
Well, and I thought that was a tough rebound to be the smallest guy in that group of giants to come down with that rebound. Alexander was able to do that. Now they're going to start their half-court set again.
All right, Antonio Lewis dives down to the basket. Shot is, he's going to be fouled going back to the line.
Yep.
So 48-32, 12:52 to go. And the Lions being able to put a little bit of distance around. The fouls have kind of calmed down a little bit. The Lions are playing more defense this quarter with their feet, not necessarily their hands. That's only the 3rd team foul, and we're almost at the halfway point of the second half of this game.
Yeah, I think that's you know, you're playing a little bit smarter, but still having the ability to apply pressure and defend without having too many fouls. Now, let's hope we didn't jinx them with that comment. We'll see.
All right, so as it stands right now in terms of overall scoring, the Lions have outscored them 17-8 in the second half of this game. Lewis at the free throw line trying to get to his 10th point, and he becomes the second Lion in double-digit scoring. Thomas has 14, now Lewis has 10. Ball back in the hands now of Sosa. Sosa looking, getting the ball back in the hands of Nagoda.
Great. I think Henry got a finger on it.
Henry with another strong rebound in the game. Henry, one of the team's best rebounders today. Hasn't had to be as active on the glass as you might think. That's only his 2nd rebound of the day. Going to work right now. Alexander gets the ball to Lewis, back to Henry, back to TJ Cave. Cave going left, swings it to Lewis. Lewis off the screen, turns, fires, shot no good. Rebound put back. Trey Clark said, hey, look at this. Right. Found the treasure and put it in the chest.
Right position, right time. You know, it's just a great play by him to get the second chance points and get to that 20-point lead. I think this is the biggest lead of the game.
It is. It is the biggest lead of the game now. It comes at the 12:09 mark of the second half. Timeout's been called on the floor. Today's game is being brought to you by MJ Bail Bonds, Blue Sky Bank, Community Health Centers of Oklahoma, Guiding Right at Tinker Federal Credit Union. Staying right here, you know, when we start talking about how this game has changed in the second half of this one, the Lions are shooting efficiently, 7 of 12, nearly 60% in the game. 2 of 4 from deep, 50%. 4 of 5 from the free throw line, 80%. In fact, the Lions are 10 of 12 free throw shooting in this game, 83%. It's amazing to see.
Did you say 60% on shooting overall?
I said in the second half. Okay, basically the second half.
In the second half, they're shooting almost 60%.
Yeah, 58%.
That's great. I mean, that's right where you want.
Yeah.
Well over half the shots you put up.
And you're almost, 10 minutes in to the second half here.
Right.
So right now, it's a danger time for John Brown. Danger time.
Yeah. And I think if you're Langston, again, played a lot of basketball, you gotta have the internal fortitude to finish up. You cannot let up here. Okay, John Brown's good enough to come back from a 20-point lead. They've had 7 victories in the Sooner Athletic Conference. You cannot let this down. Okay, we're up by 20. Let me take a breath. Let me, move a little bit slower. You can't have that mentality, not against this team.
Back to live action. George brings it up as Lovelace gets it in his hand, trying to hand the ball off to Sosa. Sosa tries to get it on a curl, loses the ball. Alexander harassing. Going to hand the ball off. Trying to get a deep three-point shot. No good. What a rebound there by Trey Clark.
Right place, right time. That's where Trey Clark usually resides.
And he's done a great job out of it as Carbonell missed that three-point shot. TJ Cave resets right now. 52-32 is the score, 11:44 to go. Cave looking for a screen, drives downhill. Loses it in the lane, scramble for it. George ends up with it, gets the ball to Nagota. And then Sosa on the other end with the Euro step. Shot is short, he's fouled, and they're going to get Jaden Williams on that.
Yep, that's right, Cole. That's the right call.
So Jaden Williams, I think he just picked up his 3rd foul. Jaden Williams has not, he's on a minutes restriction today, just trying to get his feet up underneath him. Hasn't had a chance to take a shot on goal yet, but he makes X-factor plays.
Yeah, he was in a boot not long ago.
Sosa gets his first points of the game as he got from the free throw line. Substitution, Jay Wilson comes out, McCoy comes in. Jay Wilson quiet on the day, 0 for 2 shooting. He does have a rebound in the game. McCoy has earned some minutes today, 6 points overall and 5 rebounds. Then McCoy just ends up getting his next rebound, so make that 6 points and 6 rebounds. Across the timeline goes TJ Cave, reset the offense for the Lions. Hands it off to Alexander, who gets it to Williams, back to Cave. Cave backing it up. Looking for a screen. Spin move in the lane, swings it. Trey Clark. Clark has a crease inside the lane, tries to finish with the scoop shot. Shot no good, rebound by George. Here comes Josh Stewart and the John Brown Golden Eagles. Lovelace behind the back dribble. Smothered.
Surprised Lovelace didn't take the 3.
So driving inside, trying to clear out some space does George. Sosa goes baseline, tries to finish at the rim. Shot no good. Rebound by McCoy, his 7th.
Great defense by Langston, just to keep everything in front of them. They're right there every step of the way. A couple opportunities. I thought John Brown passed up on that possession, and then were forced to take a shot. They missed it, and Langston's right there to rebound.
And an offensive foul is going to be called against McCoy.
I was on the other side of the court. I didn't really see it.
Moving screen.
Okay.
And what it happens to be is when you stop, you've got to hold the position for a second or two. You can't release that
and
quick.
You got to keep your feet set, too.
But, again, players get away with that screen on the backside a lot. And so sometimes you just get spoiled when it doesn't get called against you a lot. And then you have a game where officials, that's what they see.
Right, yeah, exactly. Sometimes they're looking, sometimes they're not.
So Edling back in the game now, Cave smothering him. The Lions continue a relentless pursuit of the basketball.
There on the outside, drives baseline.
So TJ Cave tries to get inside, and a nice job by Deuce. George with 2 shots on goal, still can't get it to fall. And finally, Jaden Williams is going to end up clearing it, and the officials are going to call for time. And they're going to try to address some moisture issue.
Yeah.
But it is still Langston ball.
Yeah, good rebound. I mean, look at John Brown is just trying so hard to make a bucket, and Langston's just not letting them they're not giving him anything.
So timeout has been called as it is right now. We'll take a timeout here as well. You're listening to Langston Lion Men's Basketball, brought to you by Blue Sky Bank, MJ Bail Bonds, Community Health Centers of Oklahoma, Tinker Federal Credit Union, and Guiding Right.
This broadcast is the exclusive property of Perry Publishing and Broadcasting Company. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, reproduction, or any other use of the accounts, descriptions, or audiovisual elements of this broadcast without the express written consent of Perry Publishing and Broadcasting Company is strictly prohibited. All rights reserved.
Welcome back. Men's basketball here on Langston University campus on Marcus Haynes Court. Always great to see Marcus Haynes. He sits courtside on almost every home game. The court he named after one of the greatest players in Langston history to be on the court side, and it's always good. He's always available to Chris Wright. He's available to Chris Vincent. He's available to any coach because he knows what it takes to grind. A player that got better when he got on campus, a player who self-made himself into a legend that he is here on the field itself.
Well, and let me put a spotlight on another former Langston player, but on the football side. Earl Williams is down there, always as a spectator watching his alumni. Earl Williams, longtime NFL player, played for the Buccaneers, played for the Bengals. He's here to support as well.
All right, going to work right now. Ball in the hands, of course, of Orlando Thomas, along with Jaden Williams, Lewis, and Alexander. It was kind of neat the way they just weaved it and made it easier for me. Omar Henry at the elbow, dives down, and Henry!
Beautiful play by the big fella. Loved it. I mean, to be able to have that kind of dribbling, the control, make a move one-handed, it's great.
As the guard play for the team has gotten better, because early on in the season, Omar Henry was a major factor as that shot's missed, and it's retrieved by Lewis. Lewis runs out, resets.
Yeah,
Henry,
Will tipped it to him.
Henry was averaging almost 12 to 14 points a game earlier this season. But as the guards, Antonio Lewis, start to get into position, Jaden Williams started making early season contribution, he understood that his role needed to change.
Look at that.
And Henry is showing you all the tools in his toolbox as he now explodes into double digits. He's got 10 in the game.
Lee off the dribble. Don't just think he's a post player. He's a basketball player that can score in different ways. And athletic.
Again, not all the time do you get to see it from Henry because it's not necessary for him to do that.
Oh,
and he comes with a block. And Henry can't help but smile. And I don't know. I really don't know how he blocked unless he caught him with the body. I don't know how.
Are they calling the foul on Henry?
They're calling the foul.
Can we review that?
Only if Chris Wright wants to call it. It looked like a clean. The player was losing balance, and Henry just swatted Witchy left right there.
Yeah, and he had a smile on his face and was like, okay, you guys can have that one.
Okay,
sure.
So that foul was not called on Henry. It was called on Orlando Thomas.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
So coming into the game, Jordan Martin has now come in for Josh Stewart, who's taking a breather right now. Edling at the free throw line now. He's got 10. Been sitting on 10 for a while. 56-34 is the score. Edling front rims that one. Omar Henry snatches a rebound now. Henry in the game itself now has 4 rebounds to match his 10 points. The weave right there in front of the logo. Alexander now has it. Deuce swings it over to Henry. Henry, I knew he's going to launch a three, and he does. Henry says, I'm feeling it tonight. Henry explodes with 13 points, 1 point behind the team high.
Rumble, young man, rumble. He's in the zone right now. You just got to keep feeding him.
Ball up top by Martin. Henry still doing a great job. Malakanuzik looking for space. Gets the ball back in the hands of Martin. Martin being covered by Jaden Williams.
Smothering.
And Omar Henry comes away with the steal. Going to get it back to Alexander. 7:54 to go. It's Omar Henry's world. We're just here to witness it.
Great sequence there by the Langston Lions. They're working together. Maximum effort.
Henry comes back out. He just knocked down a 3.
I mean, we're under 8 minutes left in the game, and John Brown is under 35 points. It's just a testament to this LU defense. Here's
Omar Henry
again.
with the heat check, and he knocks down another one. Are you serious? Omar Henry now with 16 points, a team high, a game high, and let the old man roll.
It's raining here in Sea of Gales Arena. Goodness gracious.
Ball in the hands of Martin, being guarded by Omar Henry. And the ball's loose. Omar Henry battling. Ball's going to be taken. Jump ball situation. It looks like it might be Lion ball. And it's Langston ball. Omar Henry gets up smiling. Everybody coming up to greet him. Trey Clark meeting him. He says, hey, look, man, I'm Superman.
That's right. That's right.
He is the old man. I mean, it just sounds crazy, but wasn't there a candy bar called Old Henry?
I think so. I think so. I think my grandfather used to eat it all the time, Maurice. But I tell you what, he's having a day, and his heart is just as big as this building. And, you know, you just got to keep those guys on the floor and keep feeding him the basketball, letting him do what he does. And it's such an asset to this team, and happy for him because – You talked about it earlier in the game where, you know, Omar Henry knows how many guards are on this team that can bring a lot to the table. Sometimes you have to be a facilitator in that role, and he's willing to do that. If you're winning games, then that's what matters the most. It's about team. It's not about me. It's about the team. And Omar Henry is a great representation of that.
That's why the combination of having Chris Wright has a plethora of treasures. When you have a guy like Omar Henry, then you can go behind him and find a Cameron McCoy, who is one of the only returning starters from the team from last year. Omar Henry with the turnaround heat check. Trey Clark battling, and Trey Clark's going to lose it, and they're going to call traveling against him, but he never had possession of the ball. But, of course, because he lost it, they called traveling against him.
And once again, I keep saying it, Trey Clark in the right place at the right time. He was in there. There was a slew of John Brown players, but it was him that came up with it.
Omar Henry taps the ball away from Edling right there. 62-34, and Omar Henry comes out for a breather.
Somebody get him a Gatorade. Goodness, he deserves it.
Going to work now. Edling now has it. And then coming up top, Nagoda is going to swing it back over to Lovelace.
Oh.
Lovelace with the elbow jump shot. Shot no good. Rebound pulled down by Thomas.
Oh.
Thomas grabs his fourth one. Back in the hands of Alexander, and they're going to reset the offense. The Lions trying to push this lead up to 30. Back over to Thomas. Back in the hands of T.J. Cave. Lions outscoring them in the second half of this game 30-10.
Well, and right now Langston's going to take, 10 to 12 seconds off the shot clock, but before they really start trying to score again.
Trey Clark with the spin move, turns and fires. T.J. Cave wide open. Three-point shot by Deuce.
There you go.
Trey for Deuce.
You heard the crowd go, Deuce. That was a beautiful shot by him.
Explodes the lead up to 31 points. Largest lead of the game as it stands right now.
Oh, that's definitely Langston basketball.
So,
yeah, just efficient play from the Lions today.
Wholesale change in the starting lineup now for John Brown. For the exception, the only starter I think is on the – no, they're bringing back more starters. So Sosa's in the game with Edling, Malakanuzic, Nagoda, and also on the floor, it looks like over there, is Carbonell. McCoy hands it over to Thomas, who comes across on the court, on the curl. Shot no good. Sosa with the rebound. Sosa looking for space. Malik Sosa gets it over to Edling. Over to Sosa, who drives and goes for the punch. Shot no good that time. He gets the rebound and puts back his own. 65-36.
Only now have they passed the 35-point break with under 5 minutes left in the game.
Right, you're talking about a team now that's only scored 12 second-half points in this one. Thomas does not draw iron here.
You say that again. What'd you just say? 12 second-half points?
That's it.
That's really, man.
33-12. 33-12 in the second half.
I don't know. Do you think Chris Wright had this, like what we've seen today, do you think that was an expectation?
No, you have to let the game go as what you thought it was going to go. What it is sometimes you come in with the game plan, and that's it. Everybody has a game plan, as Mike Tyson used to say, until you get hit in the mouth.
Right.
And this is one of those things where when Langston started to swing, John Brown was not able to ever get any traction to stop it. And it's been quite evident they were hanging around by just a few things. But when the three-point shot left them, 1 of 6 in the second half of this one, there goes, as they say, I'm not saying there goes the neighborhood.
Calm down. But, yeah, I don't think that Chris Wright really had much of an expectation. He didn't know who was going to come play efficient today.
If you ask True Serm, and you could ask him in postgame, did you think 16 from Omar Henry? He'll say, I expected, 8 and 8.
Yeah.
6 and 6, because Omar Henry is good for that. But did you expect 16 points, a game high for him? And it's just the way the game has evolved. Again, John Brown wanted to play a certain style of ball, and you're not going to be able to play and get away with the things that Langston can do.
Well, and to be this efficient on defense, after playing so much over the past 10 days, and then traveling on top of that.
What did you say about this team when we first looked at it? You were talking about the size advantages. Edling diced up the defense there for a nice 2. Edling now has 13 points in the game. You said there was an advantage of height for John Brown.
Size versus speed, really.
So what I tell you, it's 32-10 in points in the paint.
Yeah.
What does that tell you?
Yeah.
That tells you that in this particular matchup, in this game, Langston had a more athletic approach against the size.
Well, and they're wearing them down. Yeah, that's definitely a foul.
That should have been a foul there.
Yeah, it is a foul, right?
Yeah, it is. Oh, no, I guess they're going to call it against Malakanusic.
But they've been wearing them down. There's no question about that.
And the other thing that changed the game, the foul count. When Langston started playing defense without fouling, that again took another foothold. Remember, John Brown shot 13 first-half free throws. As Trey Clark wheels and deals to the inside, Sosa comes up with the rebound. And the second half of this one, they've only shot 8. Trey Edling.
There's a late whistle.
And they're going to say the ball is out.
Yeah.
And it's going to be Langston
there
ball.
was no foul. It just went out.
Right. So when you look at those things, and then you're saying, okay, 14 of 21 is what John Brown was shooting at the free throw line, 66%. The Lions have shot 10 of 12, 83%. The Lions haven't just been hoisting threes, but they're shooting 50% from deep in this game, 7 of 14. And every time that you get a team that's known for defensive paralysis to have a great game offensively, it's a foregone conclusion that when these two get together, danger is up for the other teams. Shot there by the substitution new line player in the game, Charles Gaither, getting some action in the game now, along with Trey Clark, Alexander, Cooper, and McCoy on the floor right now. Trap right there at the top. Drive inside, trying to find a space to go. Dowda. Contact by Cooper. Dowda drives to the basket and scores.
Yeah, Cooper was playing good on-ball defense. He just got kind of beat off the dribble there and got taken advantage of on the hook shot.
By the time this possession is over, it'll be under 3 minutes to go.
Yeah.
The foul situation should not be a factor the rest of the way. The Lions do not need to foul. They've got 5 team fouls against them. Trey Clark lines up a 3 from the corner and locks it down. That is 8 of 15. That's 56% shooting from three-point range. And this is a team over the course of the season, when we start talking about Langston and their overall shooting on the 3 ball, they average about 38%.
Right. And that is a good day at the office beyond the arc for Langston, and they know it. And so when they're shooting that 3, they're shooting it with a smile on the face because they know it's going in.
And Chris Wright has decided to clear the bench now. We have on the floor now.
Oh, goodness.
Ramon Tuck's on the floor along with Cameron McCoy, Matthew Cooper. We also have on the floor, shot from the side rim, no good. Tuck gets it down. And it looks like we have number 25 is back on the floor. That's Dante Manuel as well.
Yeah, Manuel got shoulder checked and put on his back a minute ago, got right back up and played defense. Kind of surprised that they didn't blow whistle there, but
68-40 is the score. 28-point advantage, 2.5 to go in this contest right now. So,
yeah.
from rumor has it, there is rain on the outside here where we are. And
A lot of lightning, too.
And so with that being said, there's been a lot of rain inside the building as well.
Yes, it is by 3 points.
I mean, the 3-point raining shots down by the Lions. You know, as Cameron McCoy turns and fires, the shot was actually altered by Sosa, but McCoy forces that one through. He's got 8 points to go along with his 7 rebounds. And it looks like, did we get a timeout called? No, just a substitution.
Quick substitution, but LU's up 30. It's just, wow. You know, you did never, you know, talking with Chris Wright, I don't know if he expected this or not. It certainly didn't sound like it.
No, because, again, for the same reason we talked about the girls, 5 games in 9 days.
Well, in the travel time, like
right, exactly.
the miles that they've had, this isn't just, hey, going down to Guthrie. This is you're across
right,
state
for those,
lines here.
So, in other words, you're talking about a team that had 3 different road games in 3 different cities and came back home on 2 of them. So, you're talking about that as McCoy
in like 2 or 3 different states.
Right.
You know,
so,
Arkansas, Missouri, it's incredible.
So with that being said, you didn't know what your team was going to bring to the table today. So it'll be interesting about what did he learn about the team. But the thing about it is their ability to be resilient was there. Their ability to fight through difficult situations were there. And then you still have hidden gems on this team that can still go. Today, right. Omar Henry threw back the clock to 6 months ago. And the reason why is because you knew he had it in him. You just didn't get it consistently because you didn't have to. When you got Orlando Thomas dropping 15 points, step back 3-point shot there by number 32 on Akbar, and that shot is no good. 97 seconds left to go in this game. You didn't know that you were going to get that type of production from a lot of people. You got 3 Lions in double-digit scoring. Thomas and Lewis, you expect.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 guys you know. But the point is, normally you've been getting it from a Trey Clark. Normally you've been getting it from an Alexander or a Jaden Williams who comes through with another couple of points here and there. But today you're getting it from guys who got the opportunity based upon the style of play and took advantage of their moment.
And together to shoot 56, 57% from the perimeter, boy, that's a pretty stat.
Okay, officially, I'm wrong on my math. It's about 54%.
Well, still, I mean, 50+% is icing on the cake. I mean, that's lovely. And now, you know, the goal was today is like, let's get through today with it. We'll win by however many we can win by because we're going to have some time off to recoup, catch our breath, and we won't have to play till Thursday.
Right, and here's the factor. The John Brown series hasn't been easy. They came in today, Langston losing 2 straight against them as Tuck misses the first free throw. So it wasn't just a given that you were going to get this.
Well, and it's a revenge game. I mean, this is to right a wrong.
Well, it is.
And you feel pretty good about it.
You lost to them in the spring of last year on your run to your title, and then you lost the first matchup of this year.
Yeah.
So it expanded I mean, so it's
going
not like it's a foregone
year.
conclusion. And we have seen times, Swick, where this Langston team, no matter how good they are, how good ranked they are, they have an uh-oh game.
Yeah.
A game that came out of nowhere. They had one here not too long ago before this current winning streak began, where they had against, was it OCU? I think it was on the road against OCU.
Yes.
But it was a game.
Yes, it was.
They were coming off a big win, and it wasn't a foregone conclusion. Shout out OCU. Not talking bad about anyone, but it was a game you didn't expect them to win, expect them to lose, and then not lose like that. Multiple shots on goal there by Akbar. He wasn't able to get any of them to fall before finally Cameron McCoy ends up clearing it.
That possession kind of just is the night that John Brown had in a nutshell.
You're talking about a team today.
Ooh, look at Tuck.
Tuck with the dive down and scored on Martin.
Way to go. Ramon Tuck making an impact and 1 bucket.
32-point lead, 72-40.
Take advantage of your situation, young man. Way to go. Good for him.
John Brown on the season averages, their field goal percentage is 42%. Today, their shooting percentage is 29.7.
Wow.
I mean, this is what the defense of Langston will do. Tuck gets the extra value meal that time and supersized it with the free throw made.
Under a minute left. Now, we asked Chris Wright. He's going to tell you, is that a charge?
Charge, yep. Matthew Cooper took the charge.
There you go. Look at there. Another. I mean, there's no such thing as a perfect game. What is there to criticize if you're Chris Wright here? What are some things that you want to work on, even though you're up 33-46? Just your thoughts. What do you think he might say?
So what he's going to say is early in the game about the offensive execution and the early foul trouble that we saw on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, he stepped out. His heel was on the line.
Yeah, but that's what he's going to dwell on.
Yeah.
Because the game was a lot closer because they weren't fighting back over the screen that allowed early in the game that allowed Stewart to get those 3 3-pointers.
Right.
That's his point. That's going to be his hanging point.
Yeah.
Other than that, he's not going to have a lot to say because every person he tried to find the answer for over and back, 25 seconds to go, and Cooper harassing it.
It doesn't matter if they're up 33. He's leaving it all on the floor. I love it.
The players who do not always get a lot of minutes, when you're in the game, we've talked about this all the time. These players have been coached. They're a part of the culture. Go out there and show the effort. Don't come out there and half do it. So if you're Cooper, he thought he had a breakaway to get the steal and to get the basket. So it's a big deal.
Well, and you make plays like that. Coach Wright sees it. He's more inclined to use you.
Thank you. You're saying postseason, right? I need somebody who can give me 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I need somebody who can give me 2 minutes. 25 seconds on the clock, 19 seconds on the game clock.
Exactly right.
About a 3-second difference. He wants to know that I can get that out of you. Cooper now has it, gives the ball back over to Tuck. 9 seconds, 8 seconds. I think Chris Wright's telling him to let the shot clock go. And they are. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. And that is the final offensive possession. It's 4.8 seconds to go here. The Lions are likely going to win this game by the score of 73-40. And that will do it.
Had a 8-point lead at half. Finished the game up winning by 33.
Yes, they do. So the key stat in this game for John Brown will be that this team, no matter how good they are, they have not performed well on the road. 2-10.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, there are teams in the SEC and the Big 12 that can't get wins. So it's not something to be ashamed of, but it is something to note that when you talk about a team that's looking to try and make a statement and to right the ship, that's something that they're going to have to continue to build off of with a few games left.
Well, and I still look at their conference. It's 7 conference wins in the Sooner Athletic Conference. I don't care if they were all at home.
Right. And again, but
that's tough.
That's tough. But here they are. That's why they're in the 7th position. But now they've opened up the door that they're going to be in some must-win situations. They're going to have to at least go 1-2 this next upcoming week if they are going to get to the point, Swick, where they can look comfortably and say we can get a postseason berth. No team wants to let the season just end.
Right.
You want the opportunity. Hey, I'm not going to the big dance, but I made the postseason. We made it to the second round. We had a chance. That's what you really want to build on your program. If you're Langston's perspective, you push the winning streak up to 2 now. So you're 2 games in a row. You're now 21-5, 13-3 in conference overall, and most importantly, 12-0 at home now. So that's also impressive no matter which way you look at it. And for this group to get the win in the week that they had, both the men and the women won the same amount of games in the same amount of days. It's just they had to do it differently. I'm saying today, if the girls had lost the game on Thursday, even though it went into overtime, that they probably beat John Brown today.
Yeah.
Why? Because they were down a player and they had to play in extra minutes on the road. It's all about legs and strength and depth. The only problem for the Langston women in this case is they just got ranked. And now the committee may look negatively about that because they lost just after that. But I'm going to stay focused on the men. That was for another broadcast. 73-40 was the final score today. Edling, who normally averages 15 points a game, he is held to 13 points. John Brown, as a team, shot 29% from goal, 4 of 16 from deep, 25%. And the free throw shooting didn't help them as well. They didn't bring that part of their game with them. 63%, 14 of 22 overall in that category. They were out-rebounded by Langston, 37-23. Lions were plus 15, a key factor that you brought up earlier, that they in the loss that they had, they were out-rebounded, which meant John Brown got multiple opportunities. But Langston today was just simply a buzzsaw as a team. 27 of 55, basically 49.1%. I'm calling that 50. Sorry. 8 of 15 from shooting from 3, that's 53%. But more importantly, 11 of 15 from the free throw line, 73%. Points in the paint, 36-14. Points on turnovers, 18-2. Bench points, 21-8. Those are the numbers that you're looking at. And then your high scorer is a guy you haven't had to rely on since November of earlier this year for this team. Omar Henry today, 16 points, 3 rebounds, and overall 1 assist and 1 steal. You had Orlando Thomas then with 14 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Antonio Lewis, 10 points, 4 for 4 from the free throw line, mind you, 3 points. Trey Clark, 9 points, 8 rebounds. That was quiet work for Trey Clark. He is an unsung hero, doesn't get a lot of headlines overall from that particular standpoint. Finally, Cameron McCoy, 8 points off the bench to lead bench scoring, 8 points, 8 rebounds. That's your backup center coming in doing that. You've got every level of people scoring. Cave, 6 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 steal, and a dynamic play when he had it. Cooper, 1 steal, 2 points in the game. Dante Manuel, 2 points overall in the game. Williams came off the bench. Jaden Williams had 4 rebounds in the game, did not get into the scoring column, and Tuck with 3 points and 1 rebound. Swig, you said it was a dominating performance on every level. It truly was. Chris Wright will be pleased because his team came out with the win and left this great positive taste overall.
Well, and I think this is just such a great team win, a team effort. Everybody contributed in so many different ways. And this was a big game because you knew what is ahead, and you want to continue to control your own destiny. You had 3 games left to win the conference. Now you've got 2. Now you've got to enjoy this win. Basketball is a sport. It's a team sport. You need to have fun playing it. But, eventually you're going to have to turn the page. They're going to utilize this time tomorrow till Thursday to rest, recoup, also study. And they're going to be splitting hairs on what things that they can do better, but they know that they've got the next game ahead and then one more after that, and if that's the case, they're going to be Sooner Athletic Conference champs.
And you're right. And who waits for them on the other side? The number 1 team that at least coming into this weekend in the Sooner Athletic Conference, and the number 3 team in the Sooner Athletic Conference, Texas Wesleyan on Thursday night. Listen, all you got to do if you're a Langston fan, you hear Texas Wesleyan, every antenna on top of your head should go up. This is the team where it doesn't matter what it is, there is always some type of controversy that goes on in this game. Not necessarily saying negative or whatever it is, but there's always some spice when Texas Wesleyan comes. And this time they got to come to the Den for the game. And then next Saturday for both the women and the men could be a conference championship preview, as Nelson College will be in the house. Now, the Langston women right now, they sit atop. Nelson's right underneath them.
Right.
And the men, Nelson's above Langston. And so don't know how it's going to pan out, but it's going to be an outstanding matchup no matter which way it goes this week.
Golly, it's a great matchup on paper. You realize both teams are at the very top at 1 and 2. I can only imagine the crowd participation in that game. And,
right.
Everyone understands you want big games. You want to play a big game, you got it. You
right.
got it. These next 2 games are as big as it gets.
Prior to that game, Langston had ratted off what I want to say before the game that they lost against Wayland Baptist this week. They had won 5 straight games. Texas Wesleyan, prior to last week, had won 7 straight. So both teams got a hiccup this past week. So both of them are still jockeying to reestablish who they are today to get ready for next Thursday's game. And I'm telling you, right now, there's going to be a whole bunch of haymakers coming this way.
That's
next
exactly
Thursday.
right. You can bet your bottom dollar on it.
So, Swig,
and that's what we love about it.
Swig, what will be the first question that you're going to ask Chris Wright?
Oh, gosh. You put me on the spot, Mo. What's the first question I would ask is, I really wanted to I want to understand his mindset of kind of what his expectation level was going into this game. I think if I had to guess, he was pretty happy with the first half, to have an 8-point lead, but to win by 33, was that surprising to you? I know you don't believe in playing a perfect game, but is this as close as it gets to perfection? What are some things that you can learn about this experience to make yourself better? What are some areas you want to improve on? Those are tough questions.
Right, they are.
When you win by 33.
And I tell you what, he's going to get the answers tonight, and then on Monday, make sure you tune in on OKC Sports Radio on the Morning Rush, and Swick will have the answers to those questions that Chris Wright will ask.
Absolutely.
We're going to go ahead and get out of here. It's All-Star Saturday night. It's going to be a wet one if we're here in Oklahoma, no doubt. But that just means, hey, and it's Valentine's Day. I'm going to say the women were not able to find a lot of love at home today, but the men somehow, some way shook the tree and got a lot of love coming tonight.
Your wife is wondering where you're at right now with the flowers.
Okay, don't put me on the spot, but I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to go home and make sure that I take care of that woman. So we're going to get out of here tonight. Hey, I want to thank all our sponsors for tonight's game, Guiding Right, Community Health Centers of Oklahoma, MJ Bail Bonds, Blue Sky Bank, and Tinker Federal Credit Union. Want to thank our on-site producers. That's Mr. Brendan on score. Of course, D. Prince who is also running it on the producing side, and D26, as he's known. He changes with every year, so the new version is 26. I'm not sure I like it better than 25. I want to thank Wes Wilder for holding it down at OKC Sports Radio. Thank you for sacrificing on a Saturday. We're getting out of here, folks. We enjoyed it. Hope you did, too. It is L's up as Langston women fall tonight, but the Langston men win. 1-for-1, we'll take what we can get. Have a great evening, everybody.
This broadcast is the exclusive property of Perry Publishing and Broadcasting Company. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, reproduction, or any other use of the accounts, descriptions, or audiovisual elements of this broadcast without the express written consent of Perry Publishing and Broadcasting Company is strictly prohibited. All rights reserved.